Okay, short and sweet because it's a little warm. And the iPhone will cook and then shut off because I'm not in any shade. But every bike ride, I inch closer and closer to some of the mountain areas here. And this time I got real close. Actually had ridden the bicycle along a path here that goes down and then cuts through here, and then it just goes forever. There's a road that goes forever. I was like, oh, nope, can't do it. Not enough battery power. But I stopped in this farm field because I'm taking a cut road back home. And I stopped here because I was like, wow, beautiful view. A little closer to the mountains. And back home, it's like pure sun and no clouds. But here you get a little cloud cover and maybe even a little rain. Oh, let me get around this pole. Yeah, vast rice fields out here, of course. And I thought, they just did a harvest less than a month ago. And then they racked it all together again to plant more rice, and it's already popping up. This rice just like, bang, it wastes no time popping. What a beautiful laid out little area to grow rice. There's some ladies working in the rice field here. I don't know what they're doing exactly. But if you get a little cool, cloudy weather, make it a little more pleasant. And I mean, you talk about wanting a serene, meditative kind of environment and throw in some tasking. This beats any therapy you might be able to find anywhere in the world. Yeah, there's a couple large mounds of dirt here. And there's a building right here, and that is a brick making operation. There's a couple of them right over here. And then this woman here came and parked her bike and then walked around along these small little paths here to get out there in the middle of the rice fields and throw fertilizer. I don't know. It's older than me. It's thousands of years old, this process, but it confuses me because these are the little walking paths that crisscross the rice fields, and okay, I I I just don't understand why they don't make them wider and a little more sturdy. I guess you want to use every inch of soil to grow your rice, but it makes no sense that she had to walk down this little path and then eventually step right in here. And this is wet and muddy, so I'm sure she's got boots on, and she doesn't weigh quite as much as I do, so she probably doesn't sink too badly. But make your paths a little better, a little more easy access to get out there and do what you got to do. But yeah, the cloud cover has now reached, the sun is like almost, I'm in the center of the clock and the sun is at the 1 p.m. position right now. It's about 10 in the morning. So it's not quite at its apex, but the clouds are starting to eclipse it, which is great. Because when I first was standing here, I was like, oh man, it's warm. Anyways, beautiful view. Farmers out doing their thing. Peaceful. Anybody that says Vietnam is noisy and crazy and full of chaos and insanity, which it is, but that is only in the cities and around surrounding the immediate area around the cities. That's where you don't want to be. That's where the crazy cuckoo-ness exists in Vietnam. But out here, oh no, out here is just beautiful. Very quiet. Very quiet. Shit. You know, for a foreigner like me, the Vietnamese people, they don't have any concept of this. They see me out here doing a video and they kind of get it. Dumb tourist ran into a rice field by the mountains and he's like awe-inspired to pull out his phone and do a video. But what I would rather do, and they would think this is even crazier, is get my portable folding chair, my umbrella, and just park out here and have a picnic. Have me a little picnic. And just sit out here and just, it's so quiet and peaceful and relax, read a book, nod off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And they do that. The women here, now there's some trees over here with producing some shade, or they will throw up some sticks, some bamboo and a tarp. Sometimes they'll do it near the road, and then they'll squat down and they'll have a little something to eat and they will take a little nap. And then they'll go back out here and do some more business. If there's some trees and stuff, that's even better because then they can have an area back there to do that. So maybe the men may string up a hammock and take a little nap. And these are where, again, I told you, this is where the conical hat makes the most sense in Vietnam, is when you're out here toiling in the rice fields with the sun beating down on you. That's what the hat is for. It is not a tourist item. It's a cultural icon, primarily used for cultivating rice. That's where these hats make the most sense. Ciao, xin chào. Hello. She thought she was going to fall off her bike. She's like, what in the hell? It just, like she's seeing, an alien from another planet. And then I had said, ciao, xin chao, hello, and then it registered. And she gave a little smile. She had looked like she cut some grass or some kind of edible plant and put it on the back of her bicycle, and she's going home. But this is a very pleasant looking area. There's a factory over here of some sort belching smoke. I don't know what they're doing over there. Another mound of dirt. Then there's a road. There's a bridge down here. And next time I'm out here, I'll maybe head to that bridge. But I'm always testing my limits with this e-bike and this battery. The one thing you don't want to do is you just don't want to get stuck out here. You run out of power. This e-bike is God, it's got to be 70 pounds. And when the power is not on and you try to pedal this thing, this tank, oh my God, it's impossible. I mean, if you were a young, strong, Olympic, athletic, bicyclist or stud, you could maybe get away with it, but it's a heck of a workout. I don't even want to. I've come across it a few times where I've had to pedal several miles on this thing because ran out of power, this one or the old e-bike, which weighs the same. And it's murder. It's absolute murder. So you don't want to get stuck out here. You don't want to have a breakdown out here. I have tools and stuff for flat tires and what have you, but you just want to not run out of power out here, especially this far from home. Well, I'll give you another look at the scenery here, and then I'll cut this one. Get back on my way.